We are never getting through this marathon, basically. Yeah, it's going to be a long week. So Anita, thanks very much for joining us today. So you are the charity manager at the NHS Health Stars, and you're here today, so we're talking about Eyeweb's forfeit-filled marathon, walking marathon that we're doing from Brough to Hornsey to raise money for the Health Stars.
Yes, so Health Stars is the charity that supports Humber Teaching NHS Foundation Trust. We provide a huge range of the NHS services across Hull, East Yorkshire and North Yorkshire. So this includes all of the mental health support, so that's inpatient units across Hull and community services, but we also provide all the children's services, so all the health visitors, for example, that might visit newborn babies, that's all Humber staff. And we also provide services up in Whitby, at Malton Hospital, a huge range of services. And Health Stars supports those services by granting wishes and making dreams come true.
Oh, that sounds nice.
We love a pun at Health Stars. So basically, staff across the Humber Trust will identify something that's going to really enhance the care that they give their patients or the patients' families, or that's really going to help them as staff members. They put in a wish to Health Stars, and then we use all the money that's been fundraised for us across the year to grant those wishes. We've done a huge range of things. We've supplied karaoke machines to mental health inpatient units, sensory toys for children's waiting areas and community services, right up to massive transformations of waiting rooms, of dementia-friendly spaces. It's a huge range of wishes that we're able to grant.
So those are examples of where the money that we're raising might go into.
Definitely. And there's so many things happening. So already this year, we've granted 40 wishes from staff just going, do you know what would be really helpful? And it might be real small things like we just really need some puzzle books for the older people who come onto our ward who are a bit bored and need something to do. And it's just, what I love about it is that we can go, yeah, you can have that. Because, you know, the NHS has so much red tape. There's so many things that, you know, staff have to go through to get things approved. And we can just go, oh, yeah, that's nice. Do you want some money for it? And it's really nice that we can do that, yeah.
And do you have some things set up in Hornsey, don't you? So obviously, as I mentioned before, we're walking from Brough to Hornsey. What's the setup in Hornsey?
So in Hornsey, we have a residential home for adults with profound learning difficulties, and they live there. And actually, right at the moment, we're doing a massive transformation of that space as well. So the residents are all getting ready to move house for about a year, where they're going to completely transform all of that space and just make it even more incredible than it already is.
Setting up at 6 a.m.
Okay.
on Friday the 26th of September, so only 10 days to go now. So we've all been practicing a little bit, doing a bit of walking. Luckily, some people who work at Eyeweb do runs.
I was going to say you are marathon runners.
Well, three of us have done a bit of running. A couple of them marathon runs, but the other guys, we'll see how everybody gets on. Hey, Mark. But no, we've got a big mix of everybody, so it'll be interesting to see how everyone gets on. And I think it's hard to sort of, you know, we often do walks on a weekend with our dog, and you'll cover 3 or 4 miles. It's sort of hard to know what it's going to be like at miles sort of 16 and 18 and 20, but I'm sure that'll become very apparent. And obviously, as I mentioned before, we've got to do forfeits along the way as well. So we've got 26 forfeits, 1 each mile to do. So obviously, we're not the first people to raise money for NHS Health Stars. What sort of other events have happened that have raised money for you in the past?
We've just recently had 14 people do a skydive, which was fabulous. They raised over £9,000 for the charity, which was incredible. It was such a fabulous
Where
day.
was that?
So they did it up in Bridlington. I didn't do it, but I am assured that the views before they all jumped out the plane was incredible. I'm not sure they enjoyed the 30 seconds free falling, but everyone was, I think, quite overwhelmed by the when the parachute came down. But yeah, I was there the whole day and not inspired to jump out.
No, it didn't tempt you to.
No, it did not. You said about running. We have a lot of people who do various runs across the county and across the region. We also do our CEO challenge that I know you guys have sponsored in the past. So Michelle Moran, who's the Trust Chief Exec, every year does a different challenge.
Right.
So she's done car washing in our Trust car park. She's done a 12-hour golf endurance day.
Right. I think most guys would love to do that anyway.
Yes.
Not myself, but yeah.
And then this year she did, I called it a driving treasure hunt, but it wasn't really. Essentially, we went to 8 different locations across our trust, met with 8 different teams who had all put together a different challenge for her. So she didn't know what challenge it was going to be when she got there. So we were up in Bridlington with our fisherman's service, where she had to go crabbing. She had to do a blindfolded maze at one of our older people's mental health units. And then at the end, our mental health support teams, which are the staff that work in schools with young people, had put together, I'm a chief exec, get me out of here.
Oh, cool.
And so she
flew
had...
them to Australia and...
Yeah, that was
sure,
it, yeah. I mean, she did have to wear the hat with the corks,
right.
Which was great for the photos. And she had to do 5 different challenges based on the different senses. So she had to put a hand in jelly and guess what it was and smell different things. So that was great fun. But yeah, it's just good to do different things, I think, isn't it? Because then it sparks people's imagination and gets people interested.
Going. Yeah. So why would you say it's so important for local businesses to do the sort of events like Eyeweb are doing and raise some money for good charities?
I think that, all businesses have a social responsibility to be supporting charities of some sort. But apart from that, from our point of view, it's just a really good way of getting our message across to more people. So, you've got an entire company here who's getting on board, who's going to learn more about what we do and raise money through the company, but then you never know what they're going to do later. If they see a collection box that's for Health Stars in a local pub, they might go, oh, I remember Health Stars, we did that really good event, here's some money. Or,
so it's awareness as well as
actually
the money
I think
itself.
It's really important. And, and you talk to your families about it. And so, it's not just the 10 people or whatever from Eyeweb that are going to benefit from this, because you're going to be telling your families, you're going to be telling your friends that you're doing it for Health Stars. And then hopefully if they see future fundraising events coming up for us, they'll be like, yeah, they do really good stuff for the NHS, don't they? Let's support them. So from our point of view, I think that's really important. And I just think because, you're local, we've worked together, with things like, you developed our website, and we had a complete change in direction really of the charity about 18 months ago. And that website really formed everything that we've done since. So it's great to be working with you on something more fun as well.
So what was the website address?
healthstars.org.uk.
So to help us along the way, as I said, we've got to do these forfeits, and we've decided to print these cards off like a
they look very professional.
Thank you very much. So the idea is that we have a forfeit on each of these cards, and then also we've printed a card for each of the members of the team. So the idea is that every mile we'll pick out one of these cards.
Oh no, what if the same person gets picked every mile?
Well, that's just part of it, isn't it? So yeah, that's all part of it.
Change them all to Paul.
So having looked through the cards, which of these would you say is the one that you would find the most difficult to do, or you wouldn't like to have to do?
So anyone who knows me will know that this one, be silent for a mile, will be literally impossible. When Izzy said, do you want to come and talk on our podcast? I was like, do I want to come and talk somewhere as part of my job? Yes, I do. So that would be literally impossible for me to be silent. The one that I quite liked was skipping.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
skipping
quite a fan
walking,
of skipping. I think it's an underrated mode of transport. So I'd be quite happy to skip. Maybe not for a mile, but...
I really like this one, and this is the challenge that we have to do at the end of the forfeit. We have to do right at the end, which is eating fish and chips and curry sauce. So hopefully we'll all get that one. So
is it controversial that I wouldn't be having the curry sauce?
You don't have to do that one. I'm sure one of the team will help you with that one. So I think out of all of these challenges, the one that I wouldn't like to have to do is to sing a cheesy pop song along the way. I think the main problem there is that half of this walk is going to be in the middle of Hull with lots of people around, and I just know my luck will be that this will come up in the middle of lots of people. So we'll have to see how it goes. But
I would love that one. I would be Spice Girls, S Club 7, all the way down the centre of Hull. That would be
I think this is why this challenge works so well, because some forfeits to some people will be awful and some to other people will be fine. So
yeah.
we'll just have to see how we get on. But you wouldn't want a skydiving one though?
No, would not want a skydiving one. But it looks fun.
Should
be.
So
we're hoping to join you for a bit of it. So
that'd be great.
Maybe me and my manager Rachel can. She would definitely be up for singing a bit of Spice Girls.
We'll see you at 6 in the morning then. So thanks very much for taking the time to join us today, Anita. So just as a reminder, Cards Against Eyeweb, the event is taking place on the 26th of September. We're setting off at 6 a.m. from Bruffhaven, and we should be making it to Hornsey by hopefully before 6 p.m. on the evening, and you're going to join us, which is great. So if anybody out there wants to sponsor us, then you just need to go to marathon.eyeweb.co.uk, and you can sponsor us through Just Giving on there. And if you want more information, that's the website to have a look at as well. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.